Have you ever looked around and wondered why everyone else seems to be moving ahead, while your own dreams remain invisible? Have you ever worked hard, prayed sincerely, and waited patiently, yet nothing seemed to change? If your answer is yes, then stay with me, because this story may change the way you look at success forever. Deep inside a peaceful valley surrounded by rolling green hills lived a young rabbit named Oliver. Oliver wasn't the fastest rabbit. He wasn't the strongest. He wasn't the smartest either. But inside his little heart lived a dream that was bigger than the mountains around him. Every year, the valley celebrated the Festival of Trees. Animals from every corner of the forest gathered to show the beautiful trees they had grown with love and patience. The owner of the greatest tree received the Golden Leaf Medal, a symbol of honor, wisdom, and respect. Whenever Oliver watched the celebration, his eyes sparkled with hope. One day, "I'll stand on that stage," he whispered to himself. "I'll grow the greatest tree this valley has ever seen." Many animals smiled at his confidence. Some quietly laughed. But Oliver didn't hear them. His heart was already busy dreaming. One bright spring morning, a traveling squirrel arrived carrying an old leather pouch filled with rare seeds collected from distant forests. Oliver rushed toward him with excitement. The squirrel searched through his collection before placing one tiny glowing seed into Oliver's paws. "This isn't an ordinary seed," the squirrel said softly. "It carries great potential." Oliver smiled proudly. "I'll grow the tallest tree before anyone else." The old squirrel looked into Oliver's eyes and replied, "Remember, little one, the greatest things in life often take the longest to grow." Oliver thanked him, held the precious seed close to his heart, and hurried home, believing his dream was finally about to begin. He had no idea that the most important part of his journey would happen where no one could see it. Oliver ran home as quickly as his little legs could carry him. The tiny glowing seed rested safely in his paws, and with every step, his excitement grew stronger. He could already imagine the giant tree reaching into the clouds. He imagined the animals cheering for him at the festival. He imagined placing the Golden Leaf Medal around his neck. For the first time in his life, his dream felt real. As soon as he reached his little burrow, Oliver searched for the perfect place to plant the seed. He didn't choose the first spot he saw. Instead, he walked around his small garden again and again. He watched where the morning sunlight touched the ground. He felt the soil with his paws. He even removed tiny stones one by one. "If this seed is special," he whispered, "then it deserves the perfect home." Finally, he found the right place. With great care, Oliver dug a small hole. He gently placed the glowing seed into the earth and slowly covered it with fresh soil. For a few quiet moments, he simply stared at the ground. His future was now hidden beneath it. That night, Oliver couldn't sleep. As the moonlight entered through the little window of his burrow, he lay awake imagining the enormous tree that would one day grow from that tiny seed. In his dreams, birds built nests in its branches. Children played beneath its shade. The entire valley admired his beautiful tree. Before sunrise the next morning, Oliver was already outside. His eyes searched the soil eagerly. Nothing. He smiled. "It's only the first day." He poured fresh water onto the soil and happily returned home. A week passed. Every single morning, Oliver watered the seed. Every evening, he checked the soil. Still nothing. Another week passed. Once again, he knelt beside the garden. He brushed away tiny leaves. He carefully examined every inch of the soil. But the ground remained exactly the same. His smile became a little smaller. Soon, an entire month had passed. The seasons continued moving forward. Meanwhile, the valley looked very different. The young deer proudly showed everyone a healthy little tree. The clever fox had already grown 2 strong saplings. Even the hard-working beaver had filled his garden with beautiful green plants. Everywhere Oliver looked, something was growing. Except his dream. One afternoon, while walking through the village, Oliver heard the other animals talking. "My tree already has new branches. Mine is growing faster every day. I can't wait for the festival." Oliver smiled politely. But inside, his heart became heavier. When he returned home, he quietly looked at the same empty patch of soil. No tiny sprout. No green leaf. Nothing. For the first time, doubt entered his heart. What if my seed was different? What if I planted it the wrong way? What if it never grows? The next morning, Oliver still watered the soil. The morning after that, he watered it again. Day after day. Week after week. He continued doing the same thing. But with each passing day, hope slowly became harder to hold. Soon, whispers began spreading across the valley. Some animals shook their heads whenever they walked past Oliver's garden. Others quietly laughed. I think his seed was dead. Maybe he dreamed too big. Perhaps growing great trees isn't meant for little rabbits. Oliver pretended not to hear them. But every word reached his heart. Each laugh felt heavier than the last. Even so, every single sunrise, Oliver carried his little bucket of water to the same empty piece of earth. He watered it. He waited. He hoped. Yet nothing changed. One evening, as the sun disappeared behind the mountains, Oliver sat beside the garden with tears filling his eyes. His watering can rested beside him. The soil looked exactly as it had on the day he planted the seed. He lowered his head. His ears slowly dropped. I've tried everything, he whispered. Maybe. Oliver remained sitting beside the empty patch of soil as the evening sky slowly turned orange. For a long time, he said nothing. The only sound around him was the gentle wind moving through the valley. Just as he stood up to walk away, a calm voice stopped him. My young friend. Why are you crying? Oliver turned around. Standing quietly behind him was an old tortoise. His shell was worn by time. His eyes were gentle. And in one hand, he carried an old wooden walking stick. Everyone in the valley knew him. His name was Theodore. He wasn't the strongest animal, nor the fastest. But whenever life became confusing, animals always came to him for advice. Theodore slowly walked toward Oliver and sat beside him. For a few moments, he simply looked at the empty garden. Then he smiled. It seems you've been taking very good care of this place. Oliver sighed. I have. I water it every single day. I protected it from the wind. I removed every weed. I followed every instruction. His voice began to shake. But nothing is happening. The other animals already have beautiful trees. They laugh when they see my garden. They think I failed. Oliver looked down at the ground. Maybe they're right. Maybe this dream was never meant for me. Theodore listened carefully. He never interrupted. Instead, he quietly reached down and picked up a tiny acorn lying beside the path. Holding it gently in his hand, he asked, "Oliver, what do you see?" Oliver looked at it. "A seed." Theodore nodded. "Yes. But tell me something. When you look at a seed, can you see its roots?" Oliver frowned. "No." Theodore smiled. "Exactly." Then he placed the little acorn into Oliver's paw. "My young friend, some seeds spend their first season growing roots." Oliver looked confused. Theodore continued, "The greatest trees don't begin by growing upward. They begin by growing downward. They spend months building a foundation that nobody applauds. Nobody celebrates roots. Nobody takes pictures of them. Nobody even knows they are there. But without deep roots, no tree can survive the storms that life will bring." Oliver remained silent. The words slowly settled inside his heart. Theodore gently placed one hand on the soil. Just because you cannot see growth doesn't mean growth isn't happening. Some of life's greatest work happens where no one is looking. The valley became completely quiet. For the first time in many weeks, Oliver smiled. Not because he saw results, but because he finally understood something bigger than results. The next morning, before sunrise, Oliver carried his little watering can into the garden once again. Nothing had changed. The soil still looked empty. But Oliver had changed. This time, he wasn't watering the soil because he expected instant success. He was watering it because he believed in the process. Every drop of water became a promise. Every sunrise became another chance. Every quiet morning became another step toward a future he still couldn't see. Soon, Oliver stopped comparing himself to everyone else. He no longer counted the trees growing around him. Instead, he focused only on becoming faithful to his own dream. Days quietly became weeks. Weeks slowly became months. Then, something unexpected happened. The rain stopped. The rivers became smaller. The grass turned yellow beneath the burning summer sun. Across the valley, the drought had begun. The drought grew worse with every passing day. The streams that once danced through the valley became nothing more than narrow lines of water. The soft green grass faded into dry yellow fields. Leaves curled beneath the burning sun. The valley that had once been full of life now stood silent. One by one, the young trees that had grown so quickly began to suffer. The deer's beautiful sapling slowly lost its bright green leaves. The fox's two young trees, once the pride of the village, became weak and dry. Even the hard-working beaver watched helplessly as his flourishing garden withered beneath the endless heat. The animals became frightened. Some searched desperately for water. Others wondered if they would have to plant everything again. Oliver looked at his own little garden. The soil still looked empty. For just a moment, the old doubt tried to return. But then he remembered Theodore's words. Asterisk, some seeds spend their first season growing roots. Asterisk. So instead of giving up, Oliver knelt down once again. He poured the last drops of water he had onto the quiet patch of earth. Not because he could see progress, but because he believed that faith always comes before results. Days passed. Then one peaceful spring morning, as the first rays of sunlight touched the garden, something tiny caught Oliver's eye. He froze. There, breaking through the soil, was a tiny green sprout. Oliver couldn't believe it. His heart raced. His eyes filled with tears. For months he had looked at that same piece of earth. Every single morning. Every single evening. And now, life had finally appeared. He laughed. He cried. He fell to his knees. Not because the sprout was big, but because hope had become visible. Without wasting a second, Oliver ran across the valley. Theodore. Theodore. You were right. The old tortoise stepped outside his little cottage before Oliver even reached him. One look at the young rabbit's face was enough. Theodore smiled warmly. I see your tree has finally introduced itself. Oliver nodded excitedly. But how did you know? Theodore looked toward the distant hills. I didn't know when it would appear. I only knew that strong roots never hurry. From that day forward, the little sprout grew stronger with every passing week. Its trunk became thicker. Its branches stretched toward the sky. Its leaves became greener than anyone had imagined. While other trees struggled to recover from the drought, Oliver's tree grew with quiet confidence. Its roots had already reached deep beneath the earth. Far below the surface, they had found water that no one else could reach. Years passed. The tiny sprout became a magnificent tree. Its branches spread across the valley like welcoming arms. Birds built nests among its leaves. Squirrels made homes inside its strong trunk. Butterflies danced through its blossoms every spring. Travelers stopped beneath its cool shade to rest after long journeys. Children laughed while playing around its enormous roots. Oliver never imagined that something invisible for so long would one day become impossible to ignore. Then one evening, dark clouds gathered above the mountains. The wind began to howl. Lightning flashed across the sky. A powerful storm swept through the valley. Rain poured from the heavens. The young trees bent beneath the violent wind. Some branches snapped. Several trees fell completely. The animals watched in fear. Then they looked toward Oliver's tree. It did not fall. It did not break. It stood tall. Its massive roots held tightly to the earth. The storm raged through the night. But when morning finally arrived, Oliver's tree was still standing, stronger than ever. For the first time, everyone understood. The tree had survived. Not because it had grown the fastest, but because it had spent the longest time building what nobody could see. When the annual Festival of Trees arrived once again, there was no debate, no competition. Every animal already knew which tree deserved the Golden Leaf Medal. As Oliver walked onto the stage, the valley erupted in applause. The same animals who had once laughed now stood on their feet with admiration. Oliver accepted the medal. He looked around at the smiling faces. Then his eyes found Theodore. The old tortoise simply smiled. Oliver took a deep breath and spoke. For a long time, I thought nothing was happening. I compared my journey with everyone else's. I almost gave up. He looked toward his giant tree. But while I was waiting, my roots were growing. He smiled gently. And I finally learned something. The greatest victories are built in places where no one is watching. The valley became silent. Every animal listened carefully. Oliver continued. If your dream seems invisible, don't lose hope. Just because you cannot see progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening. Keep watering your dream. Keep showing up. Keep believing. Because one day, The world will only see the tree, but you will remember the roots. Theodore quietly closed his eyes and smiled. The lesson had finally found its home. Never compare your beginning to someone else's success. The strongest foundations are built in silence. Growth that cannot be seen is often the growth that matters most. Be patient. Stay faithful. And never stop watering the dream that only you can see. Because the tree that grows the strongest is the one that first learns how to grow its roots in silence. If this story inspired you, don't stop here. Subscribe for more motivational stories and life lessons, and watch another video on our channel for your daily inspiration. Your next inspiration is just one click away.